I think the thing that annoys me the most about this, and you would think this should be pretty much common sense, is we have extremely notable people throughout the world who apparently were very interested in traveling to an island and having improper relations with children. Now, here's the thing. I don't give a shit what political party you're from. I don't care what your position or your station is in life. If you are one of those people, I want you thrown under a prison. And the problem I'm running into with all this, as is everything, at least in America, it's constantly a left versus right battle. And I understand why, but this is one of those cases where you guys on the extreme right, you guys on the extreme left, I even use the right hands, not bad to illustrate, back off blaming the other side. There is no sides. And when you do that, when you have one side just trying to shift all the blame to the other, that creates a great
Thank you for covering
distraction. When you have one side just trying to make sure the blame shifts to the other, that just defers the true issue even more. How can anybody care? Don't defend anybody in this. Don't defend Trump. Don't defend Clinton. Don't defend Prince Andrew. Don't defend anybody. All we should want is to find out who went there for illicit purposes, and then we need to start the process of getting some justice. You have Ghislaine Maxwell. You had Epstein before he killed himself. You got information, and you have access to more information. Make a deal with Ghislaine Maxwell if you need to. Get names out there. We're talking about powerful people who allegedly did horrific things to children. Now let's find out if those allegations, if we can take the allegedly off that. If they did do it, let's punish them as severely as we're allowed to punish them. I can't say on YouTube what I would like to see happen to anybody that victimizes a child. Oh, hold on, I got a quick commercial break. Hi, I'm Leon from Leon's Wood Chippers. Here at Leon's, we got wood chippers of every size imaginable for whatever your job may be. We got big wood chippers, we got little wood chippers, we got every wood chipper you can imagine. And let me tell you something, here at Leon's, the wood chippers, they're really, really sharp. So they will chop up your wood, but the thing is, if you need to chip up something else, Leon's wood chippers will cut up anything that you want them to cut up. Because as I said, here at Leon's, our wood chippers are sharp. But here's the best part about coming to Leon's. At Leon's Wood Chippers, I don't ask you no questions. I just sell you a wood chipper. It doesn't really matter if there's a client list. We know there's plenty of information out there. Come on. In investigation, you know that they interviewed Epstein. I would hope they interviewed him rather thoroughly. They interviewed Ghislaine Maxwell. You would hope they interviewed her rather thoroughly. There have been, as far as I understand, they have talked to some of the alleged victims. They've got to have that information on file. Somebody somewhere knows exactly who was on those planes. You don't, at any level in this world, you don't fly on an airplane without it being recorded and logged somewhere. So we know who was flying on those planes. Others have said, especially when they're protecting their team, well, just because they flew there doesn't mean they did anything wrong. Okay, you're right. But it does mean it's well worth investigating. And then he has the balls to go out and publicly basically tell people to get over it. Why the fuck should we get over it? If you got high-ranking officials in government diddling kids, no, there's no getting over it. We find out who they are, and I don't ask you no questions. I just sell you a wood chipper. And I'll say this too, as somebody who has voted to the right lately, has voted conservative lately. If going through the Epstein files and going after everybody who might have done something untoward in relationship to Epstein and that island, if that meant that the balance of power would actually shift in the House or in the Senate, I don't give a shit. How is that even, how are any of us even justifying that? How are we allowing that to be the case? Although in fairness, I can't say that en masse. Actually, the masses have been doing a pretty good job of not letting this die. So really, that's unfair. It's one of the few times social media has been working well, because there should be constant pressure on people. And then what pisses me off too, the Democrats put forth a bill that would have allowed for a full investigation into the Epstein files. And of course, and again, I'm not blaming this just on Democrats, both sides do it. They attached a bunch of things on their wish list to it, knowing that Republicans would say no to it because they didn't want those other things attached to go through, and then they could blame them for not wanting to do anything about it. That's bullshit, and I'll tell you why. Anybody in Congress anywhere, get some balls, step up, and put a standalone bill saying we want all the answers on the Epstein, on the Epstein files. We want to know everything that is known about what went there and who went there. Standalone bill, nothing else attached. Nobody's got the balls to do that because they're all protecting each other. Now, supposedly, Bondi's going to release the grand jury information. So what? That's a little something. I don't think it'll tell you an awful lot. Oh, and just so you guys know, with me going off on my rant here, 100%, I am not suicidal, even a little bit. Please clip that part and play it on loop if need be. Again, you interviewed Epstein. You interviewed Ghislaine Maxwell. You have names. You have people of suspect. And you're too chicken shit to do anything about it. Because you're all protecting each other. That's terrifying. It really is when you think about it. Our government is basically sitting up there in their ivory towers going, yeah, some of us diddled kids. So what, plebes? Shut up and move on. That's what we're being told. Drop it. We don't feel like talking about it. You'll do as you're told. That's the attitude of government. And I have never in my life been an anti-government person. Even if whoever I was rooting for, say, in a presidential election didn't win, I'm not anti that government. I voted for Trump against Biden. When Biden won, I'm not anti-government. I always want the country to do well. I live here. This is the first time in my life I've become what you could call an anti-government person. And it's not because of the government as an entity. It's because of the scumbags who are running it.